Hi guys, Sandy Ingram here. Welcome to the channel. On Sunday, the channel reported that the CBI, Central Bank of Iraq, announced that Iraq's imports increased by 158% in the first quarter of 2024 compared to the same period in 2023. Now, this may sound like good news, but it is a mixture of good and bad news. Here's why.
A country's currency value is deeply influenced by the costs of its imports and exports because these activities determine the demand for its currency in global markets. When a country exports goods, foreign buyers must purchase its currency to pay for these goods. This increases demand for the currency, often leading to an appreciation in its value. For example, if a country has strong export activity, the inflow of foreign funds strengthens its currency. On the other hand, importing goods requires the country to use its own currency to purchase foreign currencies, which increases the supply of its currency in international markets. This can put downward pressure on its value. For instance, if a country relies heavily on imports, the need to exchange local currency for foreign currencies can weaken its exchange rate. The overall effect on a currency depends on the trade balance, whether the country exports more than it imports, a trade surplus, or imports more than it exports, a trade deficit. A trade surplus generally increases the value of a currency due to higher demand, while a trade deficit tends to weaken it because of increased supply. Additionally, the cost of imports and exports plays a role. Rising import costs, such as global price hikes, can strain a currency, whereas competitive export pricing can boost its value. The bottom line is, the relationship between import and export costs and currency value is driven by the supply and demand dynamics in international currency markets. Iraq's plans for income outside of the oil industry, hopefully, can eliminate any potential imbalances in imports and exports. Even mega countries like the United States are striving to balance the import and export revenues. When you hear the president-elect saying, "Let's make the country great again," what he is actually saying is, we should decrease imports and increase exports. And we will decrease the imports by adding tariffs to imported goods. Yes. Our government can control what we buy by adding taxes and tariffs. Making the country great again may also include becoming more self-sufficient. So hold on guys, things may get a little bumpy financially. In the minds of many, the US has always been great. You may not have heard yet, but new laws are coming into effect that will ultimately destroy e-commerce profits for items made outside of the United States. These new policies will hurt the small retailers. Digital products will not be affected. These changes were quietly made during the 2021 to January 2025 administration. The new administration is expected to continue the efforts to implement these laws, including kicking TikTok out of the country. The channel is unsure if you see the pattern, but the UK and the US are pulling inward. That is not to say that the US won't be a leader in the global markets, but it is to say that when you walk down the street, more than likely, you will see fewer foreign cars in the United States.